Dbl Nation. It's the Dbl Break Room for Friday, September something. 14th. It's very exciting. I think we're super excited that it's Friday because it was a week.
Oh yeah, it was a week. It has been a week.
It has been a week, and you know, mostly because of this terrible hurricane that is kind of terrorizing a large part of the country. Kelly, what's the latest on Florence?
So the latest right now, it made landfall this morning along the East Coast. Right now, we know at least 500,000 people are without power along the East Coast. Most of them in the Carolinas right now. Leo, if you can pull up this incredible gas station video. So once he gets it up, this is coming out of Wilmington, North Carolina. That's one of the places that's getting hit the hardest last night into this morning. And an interesting thing from one of our reporters that we saw is that they're getting a lull in the storm, and then all of a sudden everything comes back. So they think it's over, and then it's not over. Okay. Because this hurricane, it's stalling over the Carolinas, and they expect it could do that for up to 2 days.
Oh, geez.
We don't know at this point,
could
but
repeat over.
Yeah,
over
and
over
so
again.
the gas station video is just incredible. Hopefully you're seeing that right now. But officials say it's not the wind we need to be worrying about, it's the rain because of that catastrophic flooding. Just the video is just incredible. 12,000 people in just North Carolina are in shelters. One of the shelters in Hanover County, it's actually leaking.
Oh, Lord.
So that's an issue, obviously. No deaths have been reported. That's the good news right now.
That's huge news.
And I do know, I saw a lot of you are commenting on our YouTube feed and saying these people should have gotten out, the people who are being rescued. We do know in New Bern, North Carolina, people are being rescued. About 200 were rescued overnight. There's still about 100, 150 people who still need to be rescued. A lot of people online are saying you should have gotten out when you could. You had a week to get out. They've been warning you, but you have to remember some people can't afford to leave.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
the incidentals.
Yeah.
The gas, the transportation, the car, even getting a hotel room, food. And then if you have a dog, or a cat, it's really, really hard. So there's a line out at the shelters in the Carolinas now that's going viral, and it's people waiting to take in foster dogs so the shelter themselves can evacuate.
Which is great.
And it's just like, you just want to see humans doing good things, and that's one of those things.
I mean, the shelters are evacuating, which is just, you get to one destination and you get settled, and then they've got to move everybody out to the next. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you guys are seeing that gas station video. Again, it's a category 1, but this category does not matter. Sandy was a category 1 when it hit. We've been telling you that for days because it's not the category you have to worry about. It's the winds and the amount of rain.
The flooding is what's really
bad.
the
flooding. We know 2,000 flights have been canceled. We're keeping an eye on that misery map, obviously. I thought this was super interesting. The storm is moving so slow, you could walk faster than the hurricane is moving.
Whoa.
That's how slow it's turning.
Which means that's how much rain is dumping.
That's how much rain is just falling and it's just stalling over the state. Leo, if you could pull up that space photo. You guys, we've been showing you Florence from space all week. This is the newest one that was tweeted just a little while ago as it was making landfall this morning. It's incredible. It shows you just the scope of how big this storm is. I think right now, I don't want to misquote, but I believe it's 240 miles wide. It's a big storm. It's nothing to mess around with. It's not a joke.
No, and the positive light is a lot of people are stepping up. A lot of companies are stepping up. Tim Cook just tweeted, right?
Yeah, Tim Cook sent a tweet. I don't know if we can get it up, but he says that the Carolinas are in their hearts, and he actually has decided to have his company, Apple, donate $1 million to the Red Cross.
And all week long we've been covering Airbnb and
U-Haul
and the airlines. A lot of people stepping in to just make sure that people are safe. People over profit, which is always a nice thing to say.
Yep.
And if you guys are stuck in your house and you are hearing us for some reason, you have power. If you don't have any water, if you still have any water, this is something you probably should have done prepare for, but they said put on your bathtub, fill it with water. If you ever run out of water, you'll have that standing water.
Yeah.
So pass it along if you guys know anyone that still needs help with water and is just nervous.
And if you're helping out, let us know how you're helping out with people who are being affected by this hurricane. Are you going to go foster a dog? Are you going to send food to your animal shelter or even canned food to the people who need it and want it?
We want to hear from the helpers. So
Yeah.
if you've got friends staying with you, or if you've got a pet, or if you've got if you've donated something, let us know where you are and what you did, and we'll salute you because it's all a good thing.
It's true. Jason Anderson is 10 miles north of Charlotte. He said he's from Cornelius. He said it's still pretty calm here, but again, don't be deceived. The eye of the storm and the beginning of the storm are very calm, and then it gets torrential downpour, as we were saying. So we want to wish everyone well, and we're thinking of you.
Another serious story, and I think we should knock this out probably before we move on to anything lighter, but Boston and New England, they're not getting the hurricane, but they're getting this rash last night of gas explosions throughout the greater northern Massachusetts area in places like Lawrence, Andover, North
Yep.
Andover, really close to my hometown of Tewksbury. So I know these towns very, very well. It's frightening.
I mean, it was like they called it a scene out of Armageddon, and it honestly looked like a scene out of Armageddon. It wiped through 3 towns. 3 towns. Gas
Just
explosion.
blowing up
Boom,
houses.
boom, boom,
Just house,
boom.
house,
Hopefully,
house.
yeah. Hopefully, you can see this incredible video. I think Leo's showing you right now. We know one person was killed. It was an 18-year-old. Without getting into details, the chimney. Once his house exploded, the chimney went flying. And,
my gosh.
Yeah. So really devastating there.
Oh my gosh, here's some video.
Yeah,
of
so
this.
they're trying to figure out what caused it. Right now, preliminary reports are saying that it could have been too much pressure. It could have been the gas
Overpressurized,
company's
yeah.
fault.
Yeah, over
Which, if that's the case, then that's going to be really, really
Expensive.
sad.
Very expensive.
yeah.
My
and-
Aunt Barbara is in Andover, and she was
Yep.
about to go to the museum, and they
She
said
is?
stay. Yeah, she lives in Newbury, but she was going to the Andover, Massachusetts
gosh.
museum, and they were like, "Do not come, stay away,
Yeah,
because you don't know where the gas is. So
My
if you light a match,
sister-
you have no idea."
My sister-in-law, Suhaila, works for National Grid. National Grid turned off all of the first they evacuated those 3 towns. They turned off all the electricity. The National Grid did, just so no sparks
Yeah,
anywhere
good.
would ignite the gas pressure. So it's just been crazy, and it's so weird to see like the movie theater I grew up going to all the time. Just it's now out of business this year, but it's just covered with it's their emergency station. So it's just
Wow.
all fire engines and hospitals, ambulances, and everything. And
I think
it's
all in all,
scary.
it went through 39 homes. 39 homes were ignited
So
with
we're
fire.
thinking about you guys.
Yep.
We're thinking
Yeah,
about
so
you.
Kimberly writes in, can you guys let us know some specific places to donate? Of course, the Red Cross is always important to donate. FEMA, but I don't think you want to donate there because Red Cross is more for donations.
Yeah.
But Humane Society needs a lot of money for, if you're an animal person like me, that's where I'm going to spend some money. And also, if you want to look at places to donate water, that's also where
Yep.
I'm going to be donating.
Yep.
But we'll put some up on
We're
our
going to be
social media.
gathering
Yeah,
some
I'll
numbers.
get some for you guys, and I'll
for
put it
you
on our
guys.
YouTube and Facebook channel so you guys can get through that easy.
So, listen, we're thinking about everybody out there who is dealing with one struggle or another. We have, celebrated 5 days. It's our 5th day here, and you know what that means for the break room. It's our 5th day
Break
anniversary
room!
of the break room.
We only changed names once during that 5 days.
Oh God, it's been a long 5 days. When you look back at all the things we've covered here in the
much
break
joy
room,
did we bring?
It's been
Oh,
crazy.
much
It's-
joy did
It's
we
hard
bring?
being a legacy digital show like
It's
being
just
on for 5 straight days.
5 straight days, the #1 5 straight day digital show ever.
It's insane.
In the history.
And if you worked here, trust us, it's been a long week. So,
Yup.
Cheers.
so cheers to
Cheers.
that.
Cheers,
We
cheers.
made it to the 5th day, and I don't know if you guys even remember back in the early days.
It was so long ago,
I
5
mean,
days ago.
For the early viewers,
Wow.
Oh, there
gosh.
we go. There's Monday.
Oh, wow.
You know what? You two haven't aged a bit.
How
No.
about we
Really.
stayed
You
slim?
look great.
I thank you,
You look
Jason.
great.
I think I've lost a
Oh,
few
stop.
pounds if you ask me.
Amen,
Stop.
I
sister.
don't
I mean,
even
you
know.
both look great.
Yes.
I mean, back then, the early viewers might remember it was called Daybreak.
Daybreak. Remember then? Remember when?
Different
Hashtag
time.
blessed to change the name.
Different time.
Oh, look at that necklace. So out of style now.
Oh God, those are good memories.
Good times.
Good
5
memories. So we
days,
just
guys.
wanted to thank all of our viewers for sticking with us for all 5 days. It's
It's been a long haul.
we've been through a lot.
We've been a lot. Had tears. We've
We
had
laughed.
Lots of
laughter.
laughs.
We've seen children being born, people being
We've
married.
delivered children.
It's been a very busy
We've
5 days.
delivered
We've had-
children.
Yes.
Yep.
We
Natural
did.
disasters.
To Charlie.
We've covered those natural disasters.
Listen.
Good things, bad things.
So we just wanted to thank all of you guys, and as we move on, the news never stops, and neither do we. That's
Ever.
ever. But
One
for
of the stories
Yes.
that I really want to talk about.
It's so big.
I know you guys know what story it is, DBL Nation. The
Julie
Julie
Chen.
Chen drama last night.
It was the first time Chenbot came to life and was a real live
Did.
woman.
Except she messed up the guy's name.
Also-
She was nervous.
She was-
Does anyone feel like she had better energy and was like better on camera than she ever has been? Because I'm not a huge fan of Julie Chen, but I thought she rocked it last
was on
night.
point for the
She
whole hour.
really did her. But first, she just nailed it better than ever.
Interesting.
So
Better
if
than
you
ever.
guys
Why
don't
we
know
keep
what's
you
going on, Julie Chen signed off from Big Brother. She hasn't been on the talk to spend time with her family, but she was on Big Brother signing off and said goodbye to Brent. His name was Brett. She was nervous and
We
said,
actually have the song, I think.
"Oh,
Oh,
perfect!
that's
I don't want to
yeah,
do it.
let's
You
take
do
a
it."
listen to the song.
Perfect.
Brent, I'm Julie Chen Moonves. Good night.
Back? Okay. You didn't hear that.
Julie Chen Moonves.
That's never happened.
Never signed off that way before.
Has anyone ever heard her add
No.
Moonves to her last name?
I've watched a lot of Big Brother and I've never seen that.
Never.
In fact, she said it like she practiced it in her mirror 50
So
times.
many times.
Right?
before
Julie
she-
Chen Moonves.
Moonves.
She
She
would have
really nailed it
Moonves.
if she hadn't
Julie
called
Chen
Brett Brent.
Yeah, that
kind
was
of
bad.
That was kind of a
Here's
bummer.
my take on this, and I her brand, and her brand is Julie Chen. If
Yep.
you want the Me Too movement and you want to be independent and away from all of that, why connect yourself to the guy that CBS, even though they tried to keep him, couldn't because the evidence was so strong? So I think this was a dumb move on Julie Chen's part. I think she should have kept the brand and kept it quiet. That's what I would have done. Do you guys think it was a good move?
I honestly don't know what I think. I really don't. I just
Why
don't.
connect yourself to that guy?
Here's what
Why?
I think. Here's what I think. I think.
Why
First
would
of
you
all,
do this?
It's
right
her
now?
husband,
First of
though.
all, this is going to be a long process. If she truly was not privy
That's
to
how-
the scope
yeah.
of things, I admire that she's deciding to stand by him now. It's going to be a process, and if at the end of that process she decides to do something differently, like leave him, then that is an appropriate thing for her at
So
that
then
time.
why put out Moonves if you're possibly
Because
gonna
she
leave?
is married to him.
She said she's still married if she says Julie Chen. I think it was a dumb move.
I don't. Well, I
And I
don't.
want to know what you guys think.
I think as far as the brand goes,
I'm
I
not
do
a
think
big
it was
Tammy
a dumb-
Wynette stand
I
by
mean,
your man, but I just think if that's where if she's at this point feeling that way, then good for her.
And my question is, if she's a smart woman, why is she feeling that way when CBS themselves has enough evidence to take him off the board?
Well, the question
That's a
is,
good question.
let me ask you this though: Do you think behind closed doors, CBS is really they've kept him on as he's a still
Yeah,
a-
another year.
a
However,
board member.
the New York Times just reported, this is today, that they wanted to keep him on as much as possible. They said, give me 30 women, I'll still keep him on. However, with the moment they found out he was trying to get a woman that did want to testify a new job in CBS, they had to let him go. So that's where we're starting now. As soon as Les lied about trying to get a job, this was happening on Monday. This is all coming out. The board members decided there's nothing they could do. So if the board members who wanted to keep him say it, I don't know why Julie would stand by her man, especially as she's on the talk as an independent, strong career woman.
Well, some agencies on Twitter are even saying my clients will not be going on the talk anymore after Julie Chen added Moonves.
well, the question will be,
which is pretty
will
interesting.
she be on the talk anymore?
Right.
Because we were
She has
talking
to-
in
That is a good question.
The morning meeting. It's one thing to do a show like Big Brother where you can change your name, hyphenate your name.
Don't
and-
have
and
to
be
address
fine.
anything.
But in the talk where you have to be honest and raw because it's a talk
Yep.
show and it's for women,
Yep.
empowering women. You know, the question is, will she stay in that
Ooh.
seat?
And Sarah Gilbert, remember, she was also with Roseanne. She's been in the middle of two things, the talk and
Yeah.
Roseanne. Sarah Gilbert said, I want CBS to not only be transparent, she wants the investigation to be open to the CBS
Yeah.
workers and public.
Well, Jennifer Anderson on Facebook is also saying, I don't see how she can continue on the talk after that.
How
I
do you
think you're
talk
right.
about that stuff?
I think you're right.
Naomi on Facebook is saying, this is her choice. No one is living in her shoes. Doesn't matter what we think. Well,
Agreed.
this is kind of what I'm saying. It's a private process between the two of them, so I'm not going to really judge what she
But
does.
she made it public by saying Moonves at
She
the
did
end,
today,
right?
and maybe in 3 days she'll gather information. And listen, I can't speak for her, but
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it's
You weren't really upset by it.
No,
I'm
it
not
didn't
upset, I
bother
just
me.
Oh my God, I was shocked. I ran downstairs so fast to tell Chris because Chris was like, "She's not
Well,
gonna make a
I
statement."
didn't take
and
it.
I was like,
I didn't take it as by her adding Moonves to her name was her actively denying that it happened.
Oh, I did.
I didn't.
I did.
It's
didn't.
her.
And you
It's
know
her
what?
standing by what her husband is saying.
But what's
I
interesting
feel.
is there isn't clear, like you can read interpretations of what she did. Like you and I are
Right,
seeing it
it's
from different points of view.
Exactly, but that's
Yeah.
the she.
I don't
she
think-
wanted. I think she wanted that.
I think what's happening behind that door in Bel Air is probably a whole
Yep.
different scenario.
Now this is BH Brady. I think Julie feels her loyalty towards her husband is bigger than her career.
Fair
I highly doubt that, only because Julie Chen is one of the most ambitious people in Los Angeles. Now, I might be wrong. In my head, Julie has worked for news and tried to get to the top for so long that it's hard for me to believe she would pick a man over her career. But
a
that's
man
me.
that could help her get to the top,
Not anymore.
but he did.
I have a hard time with Julie representing. I think she should have stayed clear of this.
Yeah, it's
Let her be
interesting.
her brand. Let her be Julie
But
Chen.
Julie decided what Julie wanted.
Yeah.
so
Right,
it's
you're
Julie's
right.
choice.
Yeah,
It wasn't our
XOOX
choice.
says, I think it was bold and good for her. I wouldn't have done so,
see?
but you do you, boo.
Yeah, Doris Wofford Shoemaker on Facebook also said good for her. So, you know, it is like you do you. I think that summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Kevin Ang says, I don't mind her standing for a man, but I thought it was a dumb move on Julie's part. I feel Julie's days may be numbered on CBS.
Yeah, I
Well,
think you're
I mean,
probably right.
you know, don't think that she knows how many days, or she knows exactly
Yeah.
where tomorrow's going to bring her. So when she made that decision, I'm sure that played a factor.
Yeah.
I mean, she might have already had, there
might
decisions
be
that
in-
might
Wait,
be already made.
do you think
so.
her producers knew she was going to say that?
I would say no.
I would say no too.
I would say no. It's such a small.
Oh my God, I'm dying to know. I wish we knew somebody who worked for Big Brother.
So if you're watching, if you work on Big Brother and you're watching, please let us know some information.
I never let myself get to that part, the sign off. I just don't. I just end the show before then, and I just happened to be texting my phone and it popped up and I was shook.
Oh, Kim on YouTube said, "What if Julie is in a hostage situation and we just don't know about it?"
Blink
so
twice,
she's supporting
Chen.
Les
Blink twice.
because she has to.
No.
Just kidding, but that's totally not true. But just
Kimberly,
another angle.
I like looking at all the angles.
You can never be too sure.
No.
I'll have to look when she turns next week. But first, we'll have to.
What does she
But
think?
help me.
But
So,
help me.
and what did you think about the episode?
Snoozer. I was bored. I also really like Brett, so I'm kind of bummed he went, but it was probably Brent. It was probably a good move on them to get him out, but
Do you know what's interesting? Brett had no flipping idea what's been going on with Julie Chen and Les Moonves. So he was completely, you watch his face, he was like,
What?
first she said her name wrong, his name wrong. Then she said Moonves, and you see him go like that. They have zero
Oh,
idea
that's brilliant. I
about
didn't
what's coming
think
up
about
about
I
Les
that.
didn't think
Moonves.
about that either.
They're completely
literally,
ignored from it.
her name is Julie Chen. She's never
That's-
added that Moonves on.
And they don't know why.
That's crazy.
They have zero idea what's
And you
going
know
on.
what? He's going to the jury, so he won't see anything. So he's going to the jury and being like, yo, guess what I
I
heard?
love that.
First of all, Julie called me the wrong name. Second of all, she added Moonves onto her name. What's going on?
And Jeff did tell us this, that I think it was 9/11.
They did.
Yes.
They did tell the cast what was going on, but
Yep.
other than that, they keep it.
They've done a
really.
few,
They've
but
been doing
yeah.
new, but
Sequestered.
since 9/11, they do a lot of games, or they like give you
This
some
season
headlines.
they haven't yet, at least that I can remember. But last season, yeah, they did with
A
it when
quiz,
when
like
we knew
guess.
who. When we knew Donald Trump, I think, was the pick to
Right.
run for or something.
They
There was
quizzed
something
them.
big, and they quizzed him so that way they would know. Oh, I think it wasn't it? Donald Trump has become president. Everyone was like, "That's not true."
Yeah, you know, they found people in.
Oh, it was Celebrity Big Brother. That's what it was.
They didn't believe Trump was president. Also, people coming out of comas. They'd say, "Who's the president?" And they'd say, "It's Donald Trump." They didn't believe they were really awake from their comas.
Oh man.
Crazy.
So now that we've had enough of that, it's Julie. Now that we've talked about Julie for the whole time,
I was gonna say something.
it's time for our fifth host topic. So we want you guys to be a part of this conversation every day, especially with these stories,
Yes,
because
these are
you're the
great.
talkers of the day.
Yeah.
I really like this one. How much money should you spend on a wedding gift?
Okay, so I am going along it depends on, it's almost like a temperature. If I'm red and orange with you, meaning I am very close, we're gonna go into the 100, 150. If you're a cool blue aqua teal, I don't know you. Here's a cutting board, have a good day.
Totally.
Yep.
I agree with you.
I think I like to live it on a scale, which is if I love you and can't come to the wedding, you get an expensive
Yeah,
gift.
you do.
Yes.
If I can't come to the wedding and I like you, you get a less expensive
You get a
gift.
towel.
If I love you and it's a destination wedding,
You're not getting anything.
you're not getting much except me, which is
And I
really
think most people understand that if
gift.
they're having a destination wedding, they're expecting not to get a lot of
Yeah, I went to
I-
Ireland and I
At
was
least
like,
you
I can't.
should.
right.
You
I
should
mean,
want-
if you've
yeah.
got to travel to get to their day, isn't you being there the best gift?
You would
of
think
all?
so, but some people are
Kanye,
pretty
what did
petty.
Brandon London say? Kanye said, "Your presence is the best presence."
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so true.
That
I
should
think
be
that's
true.
what he said.
And I don't.
I
Come
don't know,
with the
and you also
sales
have to
gift
weigh
receipt,
if
so.
you're in the wedding. If you're in the wedding and
Oof.
you're spending thousands of dollars on your dress, on the bachelorette party, on the shower gifts, on the bachelorette gifts. I mean, I've been in so many weddings and I can't say yes anymore because I can't afford it.
I totally agree.
It's insane.
So
So if
there's-
that's the
Is
case,
that-
I'm
am
not
I-
buying you.
Am I terrible? At a certain point in my life,
Did you stop giving gifts?
no. But at a certain point, I wasn't telling people, but in my head, if I wasn't asked to be in the wedding party, I wasn't traveling for the wedding. Is that terrible?
No, I think a lot of people
No.
have boundaries like that.
I think that's okay. I don't think that's terrible at all.
My husband
it's
and
expensive.
my husband and I were invited to a wedding in Ireland. There was no way we could afford to go. This is when I was at the ice cream store.
Yeah.
But he was best man, so you find
Right,
a way to
exactly.
do it. You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
if
saying?
you're
I mean, it's hard though. It really is
because
hard.
you're not going to spend any kind of quality time with the bride and groom.
No.
If you're not in the wedding party.
No,
so to
not at
fly
all.
there to see them in a day,
To get
spend
the car,
thousands and
have them
thousands of
swing
dollars.
by the table and
Not
then
to
go.
mention taking time off work where you're not getting
Oy.
paid, possibly.
It's
Yeah.
so
it's-
weird.
What is your average, guys, for
hard.
a wedding gift? We're saying here, millennials are saying not 150, but $151 for some reason is the
It's not the
average.
price is right, guys.
I really liked that one.
That was weird.
151.
And Kim brought up a great point, and this is one of my hacks. What I do is I take a picture from their wedding and I put it in a poster or
Yeah,
a cutting board
personalize
and
it.
do it on Etsy. It was like $50 for me. Kim said she gets a star map of the night of their wedding, has it framed by
Oh, that's
herself,
sweet.
spends
That's a good
$40,
idea.
and it looks awesome.
And it's meaningful.
And
it's something
meaningful.
that they'll keep forever. They'll
stealing
take
that
home.
idea.
Such a good
Yeah.
idea. Such a good idea. So
Is that Kim?
Yeah, Kim.
I'm stealing
Smart
that
idea.
idea, Kim.
So guys, look at, but Etsy has a lot of those. If you put up wedding personal, it has great ideas that you can use, personalize it, but it's like under $50. So go on Etsy. I can't tell you how many great hacks I found from that. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
expensive, but it's not.
The more personal the gift on a wedding, the more they're treasured usually. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I put a quote. I look fantastic. I spent 10 minutes. I'm fine.
Cuter than a blender. It's
Yeah.
cuter than a blender.
Sure is. Oh, and then the next fifth host. So tell us your average, guys, of what you're spending on a wedding. We also want to get to a father nurses his daughter.
Oh, this is a good story. This has been trending everywhere since yesterday. And if you haven't seen this video, Leo, if we could take a look at it.
God.
I'm confused. I'm confused off the bat.
So
How
this
does-
is
I think his 4-month-old daughter was confused as well.
so he captions the video. Baby girl was obviously confused.
Oh my.
As you can see, the baby is sucking on her dad's nipple. So the internet's divided on this one, and we want to know what you think, DBL.
Can we take it off?
Yeah, it's probably off by now. I'm not sure. That's a little delayed. So, what do you think, DBL Nation? Is this sweet? Is this a bonding moment
Of course, it's
between
adorable.
a dad and his daughter, or is this weird?
Is it a weird way to say you've got man boobs and you should probably work out more?
Is that weird?
Here's my thing: is
One person even went as far as to say it was child abuse, which I think that's taking it a little far.
maybe I'm just going on societal norms. Seeing that was very uncomfortable. Maybe
Same here.
maybe Sam would tell me not to do that because she always is. I'm fine with women breastfeeding because that's what it's meant for.
I mean, listen, it's harmless.
It's
joke.
harmless.
I mean, it's the baby was confused. It was. I mean, can we not get so serious about this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to me that child abuse comes up and.
Yeah, that's taking it a
Yeah.
little far.
I
I do
know.
find it a bit strange. But I had a friend who posted on Facebook last night, and she said this is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why. I don't know why we're all making fun of this guy. So.
Yeah. Well, you know.
What
People
do
are
you
just-
think, DBL Nation?
People are writing that's just wrong.
Weird.
Or weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to
Yikes.
hear more comments. Like, why is it weird? Is it weird because this is not normal? Or is it weird because, you know what I mean? Like, why is it
Well,
weird?
why does
because
weird always have to be kind of? It doesn't have to be linked with bad.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
Yeah.
Weird
I
is
was
unique.
grossed out because it's different. I was
It's
just I had
weird.
not seen that before.
It's
You're right.
not commonplace, but it's whatever.
So Kim says, I think it's cute and funny. The guy seems completely shocked when it happened, so I don't think he was forcing the child to do it. I agree. I think this is what Jennifer says. It's weird to record it and post it.
And like, be so happy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I found it was weird to go on social media because you're gonna get some people being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Although XOOX on YouTube says, no, that's creepy. If she did it for like 5 seconds and he was like, this is funny, that's okay. It lasted a long time.
God.
Weird.
All right, guys, keep sending us your comments. You might hear them on air today.
Yes.
We'd love to keep talking about this throughout the whole show.
Yes, please keep the comments about these two subjects coming and share them on your social media with your friends and see what they have to say about it and pass them along to us because we're always looking for comments from everybody on. We want to get the nation's temperature on what they're feeling about these topics.
But you know what the temperature is on this 5-day show anniversary? It's red hot, guys.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Oh, once again.
Once
So
again.
now it's time for my
Oh.
favorite time of break room. Oh, wow, you guys drank yours really fast. My favorite part of the break room where we give you a break and we talk about stories that inspire us. Today, one of the last remaining Holocaust survivors is a subject of a new documentary, and it was produced by her great-granddaughter, and 92-year-old Sonia Warshawski is telling her story to shine a light on love over hate. Take a look, everyone.
Growing up, we always were aware that Sonia had been through something horrific.
In Birkenau, Auschwitz, when one day when we are counted, took our numbers and they start calling off those numbers, were they supposed to go to the gas chamber?
When we started, we realized that within our lifetime, all of the Holocaust survivors will be gone. And how do those stories get told? How do they get passed to the next generation? We don't want the history to be lost, and we also, just want her story to live on, obviously, so that nothing like the Holocaust ever happens again.
And especially, please don't forget, there are still denials. Until I heard finally denials. Then it came like a thunder to my brain. Sonia, this is your duty. A duty for the ones who didn't make it, to give the message and tell them what can happen if you are just ignoring.
We didn't know the details of what happened until we started doing research for the film.
When they found us, they came with German shepherds, and those dogs sniffed us out. It was a little heavy, especially when they revealed it in the movie, and I watched it, so it was heavy for me, but this was the truth.
We've learned a lot about each other, we've learned a lot about our family, and it's really been a blessing.
When she approached this movie, I was thinking that's probably going to be just for the family, to leave
A lasting sort of legacy.
Yes, but when I noticed they're coming back and forth more often, so
You couldn't get rid of us.
so I was thinking something is a little different.
We started when Sonia was 85, and she, it took us 7 years to finish it. She's 92 now. The backbone is Sonia's story, but the film is about so much more than just Sonia and Sonia's story. And we think there's never been a more important time for this message of love over hate. We're just honored that the film is having the impact that it's having in the world. We couldn't have asked for anything more. Approached by Kansas Representative Congressman Kevin Yoder after he saw the movie, and he reached out to us and wanted to do a screening of the film in Congress. And so we've been organizing the screening, and we thought during Holocaust Remembrance Day and the 73rd anniversary of Sonia's liberation, this is the perfect time to share this message of love over hate.
Such a beautiful, gorgeous universe we have, really. And we're really only visiting for a short time. People should think about it every day. You live with it all your life, and you can never forget.
And as always, you can see more inspiring stories at youtube.com/heartthreads. Guys, we've got a great Friday lined up for you, so stick with us throughout the day. We're going to be live during all the digital breaks. We will see you. Have a great weekend. Until later.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.